Syndrome. Thank you, Dova Syndrome, for your contributions. Hello. So how's it going? We're back. We're back in the in the classroom. Don't worry about it. Miss Swanson was really, really nice about letting me use it this time. I even asked, are you proud of me? I asked her first, and she let me in. But hi! I figured, so I was talking in chat the other day, right? I was in chat the other day. Holy shit, 35 stream streak. That's very normal as well. Congrats. Legit impressive. But I was talking in my Discord the other day about how I used to work at a pet store. You know, I used to work at a pet store once upon a time long ago. Winnie Rowanberry worked at a pet store, and I realized I have some really fucked up, some really bizarre stories and some really fucked up stories, and just I feel like babbling about it because I think it would be funny, right? I think it would be funny, and so that's what I'm going to do because I have so many good stories to share with people. Look, I even have images. I even have cute little images because I totally prepared. I totes magoats prepared. But I did not come up with a name for the pet store though, which I think is important, right? I feel like it's very, very important that you guys know that there's a name to this store. A legally distinct name, perhaps. Pet place. Okay, I like that. Pet place and the rival store, pet space. All right. I need to write that down or I'm gonna forget. Pet place versus pet space. I think I'm really funny. I hope you think I'm funny as well because I think I'm really, really funny. But yes, I used to work at Pet Place. Wow, Pet Place. God, I worked there for a while. I worked there for a good number of years. Let's go with that. A good number of years. And I specifically, so what I did, I worked in what was called pet care, like animal care. Here, let me worked in pet care, which is basically the people who would take care of all of the little critters and stuff and sell people said little critters and like clean up after them and all that fun stuff. Make sure that the people who are getting the pets knew what the fuck they were doing, and you know, there was perhaps varying success in that regard, but you know, such is retail, we do what we can. But yeah, I worked in pet care, which was specifically so like small critters. I mean, technically I found out that small animal encompasses everything but like horses and livestock. But I worked, it was the small animals department essentially. So we worked with the fish. I worked with the fishies. God, there were so many fish. I don't even know. How many fish tanks did we have? Yes, the snakes. The snakes we had. Here, wait. I have some cute pictures. Boom. We had beta fish. They were very, very cute. I like the beta fish. I like the beta fish a lot. We did not have spiders. We did not have spiders. I know that might be kind of surprising. Most of them have them now, but at the time, they were like only rolling it out to like a few places. And we weren't one of them. The size of the container is awful with beta fish. Yes, but that is there are a lot of things that are the unfortunate what's the word? Unfortunate corporate things. Let's say unfortunate corporations. All right, it's a corporation. They're here to make money first and foremost. But that's not what I feel like. That's not what I'm here to talk about today. What I'm here to talk about today are all of the absolutely bonkers stories that I had while working there. Because holy kaboli, oh my god, people are. Hey, come here, beta fish. Yes, thank you. People are something. Let's say. People are something. But so yes, I took care of all of the small animals. I don't know if all places do. Oh fuck. That's well, I just won't lean. There. Haha, I just won't lean that much. Haha. Yeah, people were the real animals, let's be real. But yes, I worked at a pet store, and I think most places had an on-site vet as well, because most pet stores are connected to some sort of a pet clinic these days. But so it also included like bringing any of them over to the vet for helps if the hamsters got wet tail for the 50th time, or if the guinea pigs came in with ringworm again, kind of stuff. You know, all the fun things. But yes, here we did fish, reptiles, birds, rodents. Wow, is that? Also, cat adoptions, sometimes dogs. There we go, boom. There, now people don't have to ask what I worked with. But yes, the worst kind of putting a ring on it. Yeah, I got ringworm a few times from working at Pet Place. You know, it comes with the territory. It comes with the territory at Pet Place. TM. That's just what you're there for, you know? You know it's gonna happen. But yes, so we made sure they were all healthy, and we cleaned all their cages and stuff, and with the betas, at least when I was still there, we changed their water 3 days a week, I believe it was, which is better than not. And that was always a multi-hour task. I swear to God, it always took forever. It took so long. I don't know why. But yeah, so we also had to clean all of the fish tanks, which, I don't know if you guys know, but they're like connected as one. It's basically like one giant fish tank instead of like a bunch of smaller ones, at least where I worked. And so all of the like filter stuff is behind everything, but you still have to scrub the algae, and you still have to suck up the fish poop, which was kind of I learned, by the way, while working at Pet Place. That is where I learned what the smell of lake truly was. Okay? Okay? Do you know where I'm going with this? I hope you do. You probably do. Lakes smell like fish poop. That is the smell of fish poop. Not too surprising, right? Right? Yeah, that is the smell of fish poop. Because when we would siphon out the tanks and stuff, and we had to empty out, we had basically giant garbage can on wheels that we would fill up with the dirty, nasty fish poop water. And boy, let me tell you, when we were dumping that down the drain in the back, it smelled disgusting. It was so bad. It was so bad. And sometimes there were so many times I like spilled it on myself because there wasn't a good way to pour it. And it was just a tiny little like square drain for a giant like, I don't even know how many fucking gallon garbage can, but like the industrial sized ones. That would just knock it over. There are also times that we kind of flood the back of the fish area. Because our sinks were back there too, and we would turn the sink on to fill it up, and then we'd walk away and get held up by something, and then all of a sudden there's water on the floor seeping out from under the fish tanks, and you're like, what happened? What happened? What happened? It happened. But yeah, fish poop, disgusting. I hate it. I also honestly kind of, I hated. This is gonna sound so bad. Winnie over here like, oh yeah, no, I hated the customers. But I kind of did. Let's be real. I kind of especially hated the fish customers, I would say. They were also like the bulk of purchases because fish people think that they know what they're talking about. I've been doing this for longer than you've been alive. I know what I'm doing. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. I'm a fish veteran. You whippersnapper. Blah, 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 blah. Hi, Vanta. Hi. Hello. I hated the people who thought that they knew what they were doing, but clearly, like, what they knew was from, like, 20 fucking years ago, and super outdated. And when they're like, yeah, goldfish, you know, goldfish only live, like, you know, like a month and then they're dead. Wrong, by the way. All the kids smearing the glass. Oh, kids smearing the glass was the least of my trouble. That was so far down on my radar. That was like you're bored on a really slow evening. I am regaling the world with my pet store horrors. There's so many, too. But yeah, fish people in particular I'm talking about. Because we'd get fish people in, and they'd come in and they'd be like, I want those chicklets. I want them chicklets that eat other fish. I'm like, cichlids, first off. And no. Or they'd come in and they would be like, so my fish tank is dirty. I need one of those sucker fish to eat the poop, okay? I need one of those sucker fish to eat the poop. Wrong. Wrong. No, 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 no. Wrong, wrong. Wrong. No fish will eat fish poop and be happy about it. They will not be happy about it. They do not want to eat fish poop. Here, wait, I need a Gaigu. Yeah, they like to eat the moss, and like what they do is they eat the fallen food. So like food that falls down on when you overfeed the fish. And they eat the algae and stuff. This isn't a medley. This isn't a medley. Does not eat poop. Does not eat poop. Here we go. Oops. This guy right here does not eat poop, okay? Please understand. Respect him. Respect him, please. He does not want to eat your poop. Yeah, what a weirdo. Yeah, fish people who insist that they know what they're doing and are also shopping at like a big box pet store. Because I worked Pet Place TM was a corporate place. It was not like a local little pet store, hole in the wall type thing. It was big box corpo chain. Boy, was it a big box corpo. But yeah, people would come in all the time and be like, yeah, my beta fish tank is dirty. I think I need a sucker fish. And I'd be like, how big is your beta fish tank? Like half a gallon? Oh my god. Guys, I really like beta fish. I really like beta fish. They're really pretty. I really like how pretty they are. And I hate how they are... I hate fish bowls. Fish bowls are for booze. Put booze in fish bowls, okay? That's what belongs in them, not beta fish. Beta fish are so cute. Yeah, they're just a little murderous, but you can sometimes, depending on the beta fish, you can keep them with other little guys. Not other beta fish. There were a few times that we had fish shipments come in, and there would be mishaps, and somehow 2 beta fish ended up in one container, and that was typically not a very fun thing to find. But like these little guys, these little these are cardinal tetras. These little guys are actually, they go well with no, come here. No, not me. Okay, you go there. Come here. They go well with beta fish. That's actually, honestly, that's my dream, like my dream fish tank. If I were to have one again. I had one. I had a beta fish for a while. And his name was Chopper. He was dark blue. He was very pretty. He had a 10-gallon tank with live plants. I was really bad at keeping the live plants live, but I did my best. I tried. But if I had, like, my dream tank would be like a 20-gallon long with a whole bunch of these little guys and a beta fish. But that's... taking care of a fish tank is too much effort. You had a big fish before? Plecostomus? Jack Dempsey? A goldfish? God, fuck, why am I forgetting the name of, like, the cichlid? Oscars. Those fuckers. Oscars. Oh my god. I don't think I have any pictures of... I literally just Googled for Oscars, like, not the fish. But yes, the Oscar, which is a giant... God, they are giant-ass motherfuckers. Why don't I have a picture? Why don't I have a good picture of one? Oh, no. Here, let me see if transparent. Let me see if I can find a picture of one that's transparent, because they're really good. They're good fish. I like them. That's a JPEG. Give me. No! Free cartoon fish download. 2 seconds. Okay. Hopefully this is in fact transparent. Yeah, these guys are basically giant puppies. by the way. Oscars are like giant puppies, but they're like giant murderous puppies that throw tantrums and like to try and break your aquarium when they're mad at you. They're lovely little fellas. They're lovely little fellas. I love them. I love them. I don't have enough text. Can I like... Well, okay. Well, he also doesn't eat poop, but his name is Oscar. His name is Oscar, right? This is Oscar. They are carnivorous fish that really like to eat anything that moves. They like to try and eat you. I think typically they know that they can't eat you, but they still try because they're hot shots. But yeah, I've heard stories of them because these guys get like over a foot long. Like they're gonna be bigger than your Subway sandwich one day. And they really like to break things. They throw temper tantrums if you don't give them what they want. Like, there are people who had come in and been like, yeah, so my Oscar broke the heater again. He banged into it until it broke. And I'm like, oh. I'm sorry. Or sometimes they were like, they thought that they could find a better home or something. I don't know. They tried finding Nemo themselves. And then the poor owner finds them like behind the fish tank in the morning. And somehow the fish, because at that point when they're big enough to pull those shenanigans, like they go out in the morning and they pick up the fish and they're still alive. And they're just, the fish, poor little Oscar's just pissed. He's just mad. He's not hurt. He's just angry. They're cute little fuckers though. They're very cute little fuckers. They would, some of them would try and chase me, like, my hand around, when I would, like, try and clean their tank. Did confirm it was an Oscar. We had to sell it. Yeah, they're a lot. I don't remember how long they live, but since they get so big, and they're not very friendly with other fish. So you basically need a fish tank that's just Mr. Oscar here. And depending on how ornery your little guy is, it might be a very scarcely decorated fish tank. If he decides that he hates the way your interior decorating is, you will know. You will know. There are also smaller cichlids. Like, there are smaller guys, not named Oscar. But they were somehow even more aggressive. Those ones would straight up bite me. I've been bit by so many fish and things in my day. I hated it. I hated it. Or goldfish. I like the goldfish. I really like the goldfish. Get out of the way, Oscar. I need to show off this goldfish named Oscar. I really like the goldfish, especially the big, like, we called them like the fancy goldfish. But basically they were the non-comet goldfish. So the ones that are fat. Not the feeder goldfish. Are those one fish known for eating? Oh, any fish will eat dead skin off of you if you let them. That's just a thing. They'll do that. I don't think they are, like, generally kept as a pet fish. But people will keep whatever they want. It just depends on really how easy they are to like keep and breed, because they're bred in like massive facilities. You thought there were ones that were braver? Yeah, there are definitely some. Goldfish, I would say, are one of them. Though Goldfish are mostly just, they're basically puppies. This is a puppy. This is just a puppy, okay? They would like come over. They'd come over and try to say hi to my hand and try to like nibble on my hand. But it just felt like they were just doing like little goldfish kisses. They're really cute. I like goldfish. Goldfish also get enormous. Goldfish and Oscars, oh, not me. Stay there, me. Goldfish and Oscars, like, so Oscars definitely do get bigger, but goldfish get pretty darn big too. I would say, like, this is probably about to scale. Scale. Big boys. Big boys. But goldfish are basically like puppies. I love them. I love them. Sometimes they were very stupid puppies, but, you know. That's... Fuck! I'm shrinking! I'm shrinking! I like the goldfish, though. No, come on, no. I was hoping someone would say that. I was hoping someone would say that. That is a myth. That is a myth. Goldfish continue growing. Their organs do not stop growing. His organs will grow. I was hoping someone would mention that. That is something that people will, I mean, technically speaking, yes, if you put a goldfish in a small container and it physically is not able to grow larger, it will not. It will also not live very long. They can live, like, goldfish can live. Like, you guys know how long koi live. Koi are just goldfish. Koi are just different. It's goldfish. They live forever. Like, goldfish can easily live to be like 30, I'm pretty sure. And koi are on a whole nother level. Yeah. Vanta is correct. Most of the time you just get deformed and unhealthy critters. Because their bodies are still made to grow. I would always try to liken it, because let's be real, most of the time people just didn't know, and like genuinely they're like, this is what I learned. Like, clearly people wouldn't tell lies. You don't tell lies on the internet, right? But so I would always try to be like nice about it, unless they were like cranky bastards of a customer, and be like, you know, it's like if you tried to put like a kitten in a kennel and you just kept it in the kennel, or sometimes I'd even go, it'd be like if you kept a kid in a closet for their entire life. You wouldn't do that. But they grow. Goldfish, come on, I hope you don't keep kids in the closet. I mean, I guess everyone's got their skeletons or whatever. But goldfish also are the messiest motherfuckers. So the general rule of thumb that I learned that is not 100% like accurate, but it's a good starting point, is for every gallon of water you can have an inch of fish. Unless it's a goldfish or an Oscar, in which you can have an inch of fish per 2 gallons of water. Because they poop so much more. They poop so much more. But I think like a 20 gallon is the recommended minimum for a goldfish to, like, take care of them and have them be happy, healthy little guys. You want like a 20 gallon fish tank. But goldfish also are very social. They like friends. They like to have friends. So you need like, they need buddies. They need buddies. You gotta give them friends. And they really only can go with other goldfish because goldfish are cold water fish, and like every other fish that you can get is a warm water fish. So like they just won't, you gotta make them either cold or toasty, and you don't want that. You wonder if they consider their reflection as friends too. You know, sometimes they will, like, betta fish will go after their reflections. But goldfish are, like, genuinely sociable little guys. Same with, there's, like, schooling fish. Those guys you want in big groups. They're like the fucking nematodes and SpongeBob. But goldfish are actually really, really smart and shit, and I like them. I think they're cool. I liked when I could, here, this guy's gonna go away. Some of them, the big ones will get super duper friendly. There was one, he had a mustache. He had like a little mustache around his like, his like little, you know, his mouth, and it was really, really, really cute. And he was super duper friendly. Whenever he thought you were gonna bring him food, he'd just follow you back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. It was so cute. It was so cute. I hope he got a good home. I don't remember. He probably did. But yeah, as you can probably tell, I learned a lot about fish. You kind of had to. They kind of just threw you in there with like these basic ass care guides and were like, all right, now tell people how to take care of them. Be like, great. Like the lizards and stuff. Like we got like basic knowledge of how to take care of them and how, especially in terms of like a pet store environment, how to keep them alive and happy. But you know. Here, let me see. Ooh, this is a good one. Here, I got a good one. Guys, dogs pee so much. Dogs pee everywhere. Oh my god, they would pee. These organs will grow. Piss. Do you want to see how hard he can piss? No. Well, too bad. It's too late. It's too late. He's already pissed on the floor and stepped in it. The sheer number of people who would watch their dog pee or shit or do whatever and then walk away from it. Just straight up walk away and pretend like it wasn't them. Like, pretend like it's not their problem to clean up. Yes, inside. Of course, they're gonna go wherever. And all it takes really is one dog to pee on a pole, and every dog is like, oh shit, I gotta pee on that pole. I really gotta pee on that pole, man. I gotta make sure, like, there was another dog here. I'm going to make sure everyone knows that I was here, and then they piss. But the sheer number of people who just, like, wouldn't fucking clean up. I chased a few people down. I was like, ma'am, can you poop here? Well, I would be nice about it, okay? You had to be nice about it. You couldn't be like, ma'am, can you clean up your dog's shit? You have to be like, oh, oops. Looks like Fido had a little accident. Here is our, because we had a bunch of, like, little, like, stations all around the store that had like paper towel cleaners, doggy poop bags, and there's a little garbage can. We're like, oh, here's a little like potty station so you can clean it up. Wink, wink, wink. And still sometimes they just walk away. And be like, ma'am, this is the only dog in the store. This is the only dog in the store. But it wasn't that bad. I also, there was one time I cleaned up pee that was not an animal's. necessarily. The parent felt very bad. I was like, no, I was like, honestly, this isn't that bad. I have a mop. But, oh. There were some cute dogs, though. Some of them would recognize me. Some of the dogs would recognize me, guys, and it was always really, 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 really cute when they'd recognize you. They'd come running over. They were little, like, Shih Tzus. God, I think I can't remember what their names were. But they were little old lady Shih Tzus, and they would just, like, make a beeline to me whenever they saw me, and it was so cute. I loved them so much. I gave them so many pets. I also did a lot of, let me see. What do I got? Oh, wait, I got another fun one. Turtles would actually do this. Turtles would actually sit on top of each other, and it was really cute. This is real life. It was really, 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 really cute. There was also, we had one guy who, I don't know why, but he wanted a rock on his head. There was this little turtle. It was a side neck turtle. He wanted a rock on his head. We would move the rock off of his head because we were like, oh no, someone kicked a rock onto your head. And then we'd go back and there would be a rock on his head. And this kept happening and happening and happening. And he simply leave rock on head. It was so cute. I don't know why, but he was just like, he would purposefully dig and yeet a rock up, which I can't imagine was an easy task, right? And just like yeet a rock up on top of his head. It was so cute. Oh, yeah, he needed a hat. I think I have an actual picture somewhere on my phone still. Because it kept happening and I needed to show people, right? Like I needed to show people. That's just how it be. There was also, wait, I need to show the Rat King, because Rat Kings, okay, Rat Kings are like actually real in a sad way, but also Rat Kings are like mice. Mice just want to snuggle. Mice, very snuggly babies. They're very snuggly babies, okay? Very nasty pee. Very... A lot of, like, working in a pet store is just dealing with various kinds of piss. Not gonna lie. It was a lot of piss. But the mice were by far the worst. Yeah, it was waste management. They were the worst. I don't know why. I mean, there's probably a reason. Like, even the rats, we stopped carrying rats after a while. And I don't think they were ever as bad, but we also never had as many of them, right? Compared to mice, where they're like, all right, here you go. You get 12 of them. Have fun. And you have to figure out where they go. But they stunk so bad. They were such a pain to try and catch, too. Oh my god. When you're, like, trying to, like, pick them up so you can clean out their little cage. They're just running all over the place. Oh, silver dollarfish. Yes, those guys get massive. They get massive. But, like, trying to pick up the mice was the worst. They were so squirmy. They would be all over the fucking place. Eventually I learned and I gave up trying to actually pick up mice. Because you could scoop up most of the small animals if you tried. But mice, I would just use their little, like, hidey huts. I would just turn that over and, like, scoop them with that. because they were not used to people. They were little babies. I was a monster. I was a monster invading their space and ruining all of the really cool tunnels that they made in the bedding. They did not like that. Yeah, looking for little nuggets. And the hamsters would get really mad about it though. The mice, they just didn't like it. But the hamsters, like, straight up, there was one hamster. Concentrated hatred for humans. There was one hamster. I don't know what her problem was, but there was one hamster. She's a winter white Russian hamster, okay? So not the big ones like the Syrians, not a Hamtaro. Smaller than Hamtaro. And I don't know what I did to earn such hatred and rage towards me, but I shit you not, this tiny ass little hamster would run when we were trying to, like, oh, gotta give you fresh food. She'd run after you and try to bite you. Just like immediate aggressive, like, not just like biting to try and get you away, but like biting to cause harm. Biting to, she was looking for a fight. Like she wanted to fight you. And oh my god, the sheer number of times that I was like trying to clean out her cage, and we'd use the little like garbage scoops basically. And one time because they're fast fuckers too. Oh my god, they're so fast. One time she fucking crawled up the little garbage scoop and bit me, and then hung on for dear life and wouldn't let go of my hand. It was fucking terrible. She was such a little bitch of a hamster. I learned my lesson though. I learned my lesson. I needed to be faster. I needed to be faster than that. So I was faster. I learned my lesson. Which honestly, that's not the worst. That's not the worst bite that I've had. Cause I was bit by a little corn snake before. Those guys, it didn't hurt. It was just surprising, and I dropped the poor little guy. But it bled for like fucking crazy. It was just like these tiny ass it was just like a getaway nip even. And holy shit, it just kept going. And I was like, can we not please? Please? I was like, I'm sorry, buddy. I needed to move you. He didn't care. He was mad at me. And I guess I can't blame him. Probably the worst time that I got bit though was it was when we still had rats. And I was not aware of it. I think pretty much everyone else had been warned. But there was a rat who had recently come in, and like we do at Pet Place, and I imagine at Pet Space as well, they don't immediately go out on the floor to like be sold, right? Like there's back room. We have back rooms. We clip into the back rooms. Rather, we would. I no longer clip into the backwoods. Back rooms. But I was not aware that there was a rat who, even after she was like out on the floor, you know, after a couple days, we try not to bug them, blah, blah, blah. She was very, very skittish and very, very protective of the other rats as well. And I was not aware of this. So I went to go and change out the water, and I reached in and reached around their little hidey hut to grab the water bottle. And she said, absolutely fucking not. And bit me so hard. There was legitimately a moment where I was like, wait, like, do I need to like go to urgent care for this? That's how bad of a bite it was. I was like, wait, this won't stop bleeding. And I'm pretty sure that rat gave me nerve damage on that finger. I'm pretty sure I got nerve damage. Like, it's fine now, and I have this tiniest little scar, but like, it hurt like a fucking bitch. Oh my god, and it bled so much. It was when I was still pretty new, so I had to like awkwardly be like, because I was like, someone came up to like ask me something, and I was like holding my hand with a bunch of paper towels on it. I was like, ma'am, I can't, I have to go. I can't help you. My hand is bleeding. It's all good though. It was my fault. Most, like, I would say, well, yeah, no, not even just like most of the time. If you get bit by a critter, chances are it's your fault somehow. Unless it's a Russian hamster, in which case they're just like devil incarnate. But that's a special story. Those guys are special. But like, if you get bit by like a snake, chances are that was your fault. Or I got bit by a tortoise once because he thought that my finger was food. Because he was really, really excited for food and he just kind of went for it. The turtles would do that too. Yeah, they're just like, and tortoises are like they are stubborn. They just want, they don't wait. If they want to go somewhere, they will go somewhere. And yeah, I had snakes that would get too excited. There was one actually, he was a king snake. And we had him for the longest time. And when we first got him, he was like super duper food aggressive. Like I guess that's not really aggressive. He was a small, hungry, growing boy, right? So it took a while for him to learn the difference between food and people, because he just wanted food and he didn't care if you were people. But the snakes we would always name because we had to keep, like feeding logs of them. He earned his name. His name was Hannibal. And actually one of my coworkers ended up buying him and taking him home because we all fell in love with him. Because eventually he got bigger and he calmed down and he was like the snake that I was like the most comfortable handling, I would say, because he was so chill. He was so chill. He was a champ when it came to eating anything. It was awesome. And ball pythons were a pain in the ass because they all have anxiety. And if you look at them funny, they just decide that they won't eat anything. But like king snakes and corn snakes are pretty mellow. Pretty good as far as snakes go. If you're thinking about a snake one day. What else did I get bit by? Let me see. Yes, the rat that bit me. I have a little list. I have a little list of stories. Oh yeah, there was a snake. You'll stick to solid snake. That's fair. There is a snake that he decided that he did not want to be in a cage. And he was a ball python, so he was pretty strong. Like he was, I would say like mid to larger side of ball python in a pet store because they come pretty young. So still very small in the grand scheme of ball pythons, but large. He had muscles. Numerous times when we had him, I think we didn't have room on the floor, so we had him in the back room in like a normal like terrarium setup. But he could push open the lid of the terrarium unless we like put multiple rocks on it, like big, heavy aquarium rocks, and clipped it down. So there were a few times before we realized that where we'd go into the back room and be like, okay, gonna check on the little critters. It's time to close the store, blah, blah, blah. And he'd just be like chilling in the corner, like, hey guys, I didn't like my environment, so I decided to move. He did that multiple times. He was such a little shit. And sometimes, like, you know, sometimes you're rushing and you forget to put the little, you know, you gotta put 3 rocks and clip down the enclosure. He's a little escape artist. The hamsters were pretty good at that too. Hamsters were pretty good at that if you weren't careful. Yeah, he was a sneak noodle. He was a sneaky noodle. Here, critters are escape artists. God, are they ever escape artists? Here, escape artists. Escape artists. Escape artists. Escape artists. Escape artists. Literally everyone would find a way to sneak out. Whether it be, oh, you didn't put the clip on the enclosure, or you didn't push the little tub enclosure back behind the little locking piece of metal, and thus the hamster could, like, over the course of like an hour, slowly push it open far enough that she could squeeze her little body through. Hello, Paddock. How's it going? I am Teacher Winnie right now, aren't I? Talking about all these escape artists. God, are they... God. But it's okay, because they were cute. At the end of the day, I was like, okay, you guys... you guys are cute, so I'll forgive you. Am I cookie clicking? I'm not. Wait, why... Why do you think I'm cookie clicking? Hmm? You hear a noise? That's my computer fans! Those are my computer fans! What's the pink drink? It's a ramune. It's like it's a strawberry ramune. You hear a noise. No. You think it's the music? Yeah, I mean, the music's got some, like, popping noises to it. It's probably the music. But yeah, it's just so many fucking escape artists. The birds? Oh my god, the birds were such a pain. Like, let's be real, they were all a pain to try and catch and find. Well, okay, the fish fish was more sad when they became escape artists, because they didn't tend to survive their escape unless you caught them very quickly. It sounds like it's from the Wii console. It kind of does. But yeah, fish were kind of sad escape artists. Birds were hilarious because they would, like, you know, shit happens, right? They found a way to get out, and they're flying around this entire store. And they realize very, very, very quickly, like, after, because they were all pretty young. So once they learned how to fly back down, because they were all babies and weren't necessarily super good at flying, and definitely not flying around, sometimes it would take them a little bit to, like, figure out how to fly back down. But they would, like, fly down and, like sit in front of the bird enclosure trying to get back to their friends, like trying to figure out how to get back in there because they realize they're like, oh no, I fucked up. I want to go home. I want to go home, man. I want to go home. And so sometimes people will be like, hey, there's a bird. And we'd have to be like, yeah, we're trying to catch him. The way that we would do it is we would prop open the top of the enclosure because there was like a like safety zone essentially, like a little room enclosure, and we could prop open that top, and then typically, you know, you put food and shit down there too. Typically they'll find their way in, and then you can sneak in and very, very carefully close that back up again on them, and then they're stuck in the little room instead of the entire store. But they very quickly would realize that they didn't want to be away out of the enclosure anymore. Or there were a few times I was able to actually like catch a bird with a net without doing that, but it was far less stressful for everyone involved to just be like, okay, I'm gonna get you into a smaller spot that you can't escape from. You cannot escape, and I can rescue you, and then you can go back with your little birdie friends and be happy because they wanted to be with each other. You know, it's almost ad time. It's almost ad time. Oh no. You could escape. I mean, you could finch. We did have finches, and they sure did sometimes escape. It was usually the parakeets though. But every so often a finch would manage. Parakeets have had a little more of a naughty streak to them, right? Like parakeets, honestly, I would say, even though the rat bite hurt so fucking bad, I would say in terms of like the worst bite otherwise, parakeets. Do you know what parakeets do when they bite you? They chew on you. They bite, and then they bite again, and they bite again, and they bite, and they chew. They are nasty little fuckers. They have rage. They have rage when they escape. But God, I do miss having a parakeet. I love Jasper. I miss having a parakeet because they're very cute. They're very fun to watch. Even if they like to get out and fly all over the place and be little shits. Be little shits. Not shih tzus. We're on an ad break, so let's see. What can I do? What can I do? Oh, here's a good one. Oh no! That happens sometimes. See, look it. Birds of a feather flock together. Here we go. Ah! Ah! It sucked. The worst poops were... The worst was when the poor dog's owner wouldn't notice. Would not notice what was going on and like try and drag their poor dog with them, and then you just have like this trail of nuggets behind the dog. It's neat how they have the shading. That's the VT Studio stuffs. The effects. Woo! It's kind of hard to fuss with, but when it works, it looks really cool. But God, those poor dogs. Those poor pups. Bum, bum, bum. One more minute of ads. Wow. You guys like my ad break? I'm trying to think of something to advertise. I have no ads. I have no ads. You're a little sick of support animals. That is a beefy topic. That is a very beefy topic. Bum 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 bum. Support animals and service animals are a very it's a very frustrating thing to deal with. It's very frustrating because there are people who don't understand what it means and think that they can bring around whatever they want and don't realize that's not how it works. But then because of those people and how annoying they are, now people with service animals are getting harassed and have to deal with bullshit and people trying to like own them on TikTok by filming them, and it's a hot mess. It's a hot mess, and I don't like when people take advantage of it. Bum 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 ba da bum 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 bum. But what else was I gonna say? Oh, there was okay. Speaking, this is gonna be my last thing on service dogs because I don't want to get into that necessarily. But there was this one pair that would come in for grooming sometimes. It was a seeing eye dog. He was a black lab. And she was the most well-behaved girl, right? Because, you know, service animals, you gotta be well-behaved. The one time she would not be is at the cash register because she knew every time she was such a good dog that she would get a treat. And that was her, like, one exception to, like, act out. And so she'd just, like, walk on behind the cash register and sit down and stare at you until you gave her a treat. Every single time. Sometimes it would even be as they were coming in the store, and she'd be like, hey, feed me. I know that's what I get. Otherwise, she was the perfect fucking service dog, but the moment it came to the checkout, and even her owner's like, yeah, I know. Yeah. She was a good dog. She was a good pup. Bum 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 bum. Let's see. What do I have? Bum bum bum. Oh, here we go. Here. Let's talk about cats, shall we? Let's talk about cats. You guys like cats. You guys love cats. Look it. Oh, it's a little baby. Aww. And look, here's the little old guy. Aww. So cute. Such a cutie pie. Yeah, a tiny little panther. Oh. Cat adoptions, guys. Cat adoptions. Cats. Oh. You know, the talking about the cats, I'm hiccup. Did I get shorter suddenly? Talking about the cats in the Discord is what made me want to start rambling about this stuff. So I kind of told the story of it, but I'm gonna tell the story again so we worked with animal rescues for cats, and so we had the kennels with the cats, and they were all rescues. And like every other weekend, the group would come in with dogs. But otherwise we didn't have dogs around, like, quote unquote for sale, though they weren't ever for sale. It was all adoptions, blah, 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 blah. But kitten season, oh my God, kitten season. They would just like drop off these tiny ass little kittens, just like an entire litter of kittens with us. And the larger kennels were on the bottom of it, right? They were on the bottom. It was like a two height. And there are two larger ones on the bottom. And so we would put the kittens in there because kittens are insane. Kittens are absolutely fucking bonkers. I love them. They're insane. But do you know what happens when kittens get adopted? And then another kitten gets adopted, and another kitten gets adopted, and suddenly you have one kitten who is all by herself, who suddenly does not have any of her litter mates with her. They don't tend to like that very much. And this little gal especially did not like it. And like, thankfully kittens would get adopted super quickly. Because, you know, everyone wants a kitten. I don't know why you'd want a kitten. I love kittens. I don't want a kitten. They're bonkers. But before this little gal got adopted, you know, she was suddenly all by her lonesome in a bottom kennel. A large bottom kennel. All by herself, missing her friends, and people would come by and say hello. But this poor little kitten wasn't at eye level. She couldn't see the people. She wanted to see the people, and sometimes the people wouldn't crouch down and say hi to her, and that was a travesty. So she learned very, very quickly that she could climb up the door because it was, you know, the metal grate of the door. She could climb, and then she would be like at chest height, and that's almost at eye level with humans. And she just wanted attention. But when you're a kitten and you're climbing up a fucking wall, you're gonna fall down, right? Like, kittens in general are going to fall. And boy, did she fall down into her water bowl. And then she was a wet kitten. She was a sad, wet kitten. And, you know, as sad, wet kittens and just kittens in general tend to do, they like to go all over the place. They just like to crawl around. So she was sad and wet, and she went into her litter box. Well, she was sad and wet. And then she... Why no mice? Because I can't allow Seer into this stream. It's specifically to keep Seer out, because he's the rat that makes all of the rules, and he's not allowed here. I don't know. Seer is a rat. Seer might as well be a rat, to me at least. He has rat energy. But this poor little kitten who had fallen into the water and fallen into the litter box and was still lonely would climb up again and fall back in the water, and then inevitably end up now he's already covered in wet litter, wet clay cat litter, fall back in there. And, oh, he's so sad, and now he's sad, and he's wet, and he doesn't feel, and she didn't feel good because she was covered in clay, and she wasn't happy, and no one was paying attention to her. And so she'd be going all around in that little tiny kennel, all over the place, and climbing back up and running around and covered in litter. And by the time that someone, I think someone came over and was like, hey, I think that kitten needs help. And so I would go over there, and I'm like, okay, because I think it was like late afternoon, evening. And I go over there, and I look at this little kitten, and she's all by herself, covered in wet cat litter, and the entire kennel, because it was stainless steel, every single inch of that wall was covered in wet cat litter. Even the ceiling had wet cat litter on it from this kitten. It was a disaster zone of one of the messiest kennels I have ever seen in working at Pet Place. All done by this like 12-week-old kitten that was lonely. It took so long to fucking clean that kennel. Then we put her up in the top tier of the kennel, so she was eye level with people, and let me just say she no longer fell into the water and into her litter box and into the water and into her litter box and back into the water again. It was she was really sad too, but it was really cute after the groomers, you know, obviously you gotta give that cat a bath. You've got to give her a bath pronto. And she was just this sad little wet thing, and we got to hold her in a little towel and be like, oh, you know, baby, oh, stupid little baby, look at you, you're so sad. Wrangling the kittens too, oh my god. You would try to get them back in the kennel after you like scoop their litter box, because you know the kittens have a lot of energy, so you open the kennel, and if you have the time, you know, let them run around for a little bit. When they call it herding cats, you'd scoop up 2 kittens in one arm and try to open the kennel just enough with the other arm, because there's a kitten in there that's trying to get back out again. And somehow another kitten slips out of your grasp and crawls over something, and you're trying to wrangle these like 3 kittens, and all of a sudden you hear a crash, and another kitten is like knocked over the garbage can that you had just finished cleaning the litter boxes out with, so it was like knocked over cat poop. She fell in the garbage can and knocked it over, and now is running back towards you. Oh my god, it was a pointless task. It would be so difficult. It would be so difficult. It was so funny. But at the same time, sometimes people, if we did it when the store was still open, sometimes you could tell that people would, like, they would come up to you and see you clearly struggling in the cat room with the cats, and then have the nerve to try and open the door as these kittens are bolting back and forth, trying to run as much as they can. I would be like, are you fucking... No, absolutely don't do that. Please, no. Sometimes we would lock the door. Oh, kittens. There was one time also, I have a lot of kitten stories and cat stories in general. There was one time on Valentine's Day, someone stole a kitten. Like, straight up, they brought bolt cutters and they cut the lock of the kennel and stole a kitten. And needless to say, the rescue was not very happy. No one was happy about that. And it got out in the local news and everything. And apparently the guy, it was stressful too at the time. It was a Saturday, I think. It was a Saturday because there were dog adoptions there at the time too. So it was just super busy. And it was like, how the hell did someone steal a cat with all of this? Like, there were people right in front, like, surely. But no, they stole this little kitten. I think it was a little black kitten. Felt so shamed that they returned the kitten. I think they, like, dropped the kitten off at another pet place with a note that was like, sorry, I'm broke and wanted a gift for my girlfriend. And we were all just like, are you fucking, like, are you serious? Are you serious? Your idea of, oh no, I'm poor and I can't celebrate Valentine's Day with my girlfriend is to steal a kitten? Isn't a pet as a gift a faux pas? Yes. Yes, it is. Which makes it extra stupid. But, like, what the fuck? I still don't understand the logic behind that. Like, what the hell? No, don't do that. The cat did get adopted for realsies by someone not fucked up. God. But yeah, don't give a pet as a gift, generally speaking. Unless you are explicitly told to by the person receiving said pet. And even then. Yeah, some adults definitely need to get a kick in the ass. And, words. Oh, speaking of swift kick in the ass, there was one time, this is straying a bit away from the cats, but there was one evening that someone walked in and was like, hey, there's this box sitting right outside. And inside of the box was a ferret. Someone just like, they just left a ferret in a box in front of the store and ran. And we were all like, what the fuck do we do with a ferret? Like, did they abandon it? Like, what's going on? I was like trying desperately to make a harness for the ferret out of the like grooming leads, because you know how ferrets are, they're tubes. And he was just super excited. He was pumped. He wanted to go all over the place. He stank. There were customers who were like, oh, he's so cute. And I was like, yeah, someone dropped him off in a box like 20 minutes ago. And they're like, what? I'm like, yes. As I'm trying to get them crickets and wrangle this ferret that's like crawling down my arm, slipping through every single loop of this leash I made. Thankfully there was a happy ending. It turns out, even though this is gonna sound like not a happy ending at first, it turns out, another theft. Someone had stolen someone's ferret and immediately realized, like, how much work and how destructive ferrets are, because they're a lot of work, right? And they smell really bad, like they're musky. And so they stole this ferret from someone and immediately were like, oh god, I can't handle this. So they thought the best course of action was to just drop him off in a box in front of a pet store at night. And thankfully, we found the owner. And that's how we knew that someone stole this fucking ferret and then just, like, gave up immediately on it. But who the hell just leaves a box outside? They didn't even have the fucking fucking call to, like, bring the box in and run. No, they left the ferret in a box outside at night. He was a cute little ferret, though. I'm glad he was able to get back to his owner. But yeah, the things that people do. The things that people freaking do with, like... It could have turned out... Yeah, you're right, Finch. It could have turned out very, very bad. All things considered, it was the best case scenario of, here is an animal in a box outside. But it was just so bizarre. And, like, thankfully, one of my coworkers was able... She was like, I had ferrets. Like, I have rats right now, and I have a ferret cage. Like, I will take this ferret home for the night until we can figure out what's going on. Because otherwise, what are you gonna do? Ferrets are gonna... Because, at Pet Place, we didn't carry ferrets. I don't know if any place really carries ferrets anymore, but we never did. So we especially did not have anything to house a ferret. With anything but, like, okay, you are in a container with bedding and food and water. By food, I mean, like, hamster food. So not ideal, right? Not ideal. But thankfully, she was able to take care of him for the night until we figured out what the hell was going on. Don't do that. Well, one, don't steal animals. Two, don't do that. It's fun times, though. It's fun times. We also had a cat. We had a cat. Snuggles the cat. Oh, Jimmy John sounds yummy. We had a cat. Oh, we had a cat. His name was Snuggles, okay? He was a very elderly cat. Right? He was an elderly cat when we got him. And his story was... The story of this Snuggles was that his elderly owner had passed away. And there was no one in the family that could, like, take care of him. You had a Snuggles? I think a lot of people had a Snuggles. I think a lot of people did. Here, this goes over here for now. Snuggles. One of the shops in your home city had ferrets. Yeah. Yeah, because I know Pet Space used to, at the very least. And I'd always walk by and be like, I want one of those. It smells. But so Snuggles the cat was like... Oh. Oh. Oh, no. Ah! Oh, fuck. Did I just lock Snuggles in place? Now I just unlocked everything. Okay, I think we're good now. Went outside. Oh no! Rip. I don't like it when cats get outside. I know you probably didn't have anything to do with that, but Snuggles the cat. So he was an old man cat. And his owner passed away, and he was upset. And all of a sudden, he was in a kennel in a pet store, surrounded by other cats. And he had always been an only cat. And he did not like other cats. He was not happy. He was pissed. He was... It wasn't so much pissed. He was terrified and stressed out. He was a very stressed old man of a cat. And despite what we would, like, he was very upset, right? He did not, because most of the cats, you know, they have, like, a night or two of, like, being scared and, like, hissy and stuff. And, like, reactive. Not Snuggles. Snuggles did not adapt. Let me drink some water. Water. Posture check. No. Yeah, so Snuggles was a very, very, very stressed cat. And we learned very, very, very quickly that he did not want to be touched either. Nor did he want to be in the kennel. Which, as you can imagine, in trying to open up a kennel to clean a litter box and change, food and water and, clean the kennel, one, it's hard to do with a cat in there. Two, it's hard to do with a cat that doesn't want you to be near him in there. Three, if said cat that doesn't want to be near people and is angry and upset and stressed out and doesn't know where he is gets out of the kennel, he does not want to go back in the kennel. He still does not want people to touch him. He managed to super duper scratch up one of my coworkers one evening because he was trying to get Snuggles the cat back in the kennel. And, it was at closing time, blah, 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 blah. It was stressful, blah, 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 blah. And, all of a sudden there's blood and cats. And after that, Snuggles had kind of learned. He realized that, that method worked, right? It worked. He attacked, and then he got to be out of the kennel longer. And yeah, it was rough. It was stressful for everyone. We felt really, really bad. But the rescue at the time did not have any other foster spaces. According to them, I would not be surprised if it was a matter of there was no one who wanted to deal with him. But he was with us for a couple months and never got any better. We had to acquire a pair of bite gloves from the grooming salon because literally you could no longer handle him without Snuggles becoming a gremlin. And I can't blame him. You can't blame an old cat for attacking you when it's just no one wants that situation. No one's happy. No one is winning. Everyone loses in this situation. But so we would have to use the bite gloves and try to get him out first from underneath the kennels because, oh, by the way, these kennels were on wheels. They weren't walled. They weren't ceiling to floor. So there was a space underneath them and a space on top of them. Usually you didn't have to worry about the space on top of them, but they love to go under the kennels and back up into the corner, and then you'd have to try and get them out, which no one enjoyed. And so we'd have to try and scruff him, and he was a big cat. Snuggles was massive. He was a big fucking cat, and he was not happy. And it was so hard. There were some days it would literally take us 15 minutes just to get him back in the kennel because he was just so stressed out and you were trying not to get bit, even with the bite gloves. And it was stressful. And one evening, right before, I didn't know, he was adopted, I think, a week later, or maybe, I don't even know. It was very soon after, but one night, I had extra time, and he got out, and I was like, whatever, right? I was like, whatever, I'm gonna clean up around him, because, you could do that. As long as you weren't, trying to put him back in the kennel, he would just kind of, sit there and stare at you, right? From a distance. And so I was just like doing my stuff. Big like part Maine Coon. He was just like a chonker of a cat. He looked a lot. Snuggles looked a lot like this. He was mostly white. Had some brown. He was a cute cat. But he was a short hair, so I think he was just a chonker. He was just large. But as I'm like, you know, I think I was like scooping out a litter box. Who knows? So I was like kneeling on the floor. And all of a sudden, Snuggles, the cat, walks up to me. And nudges my hand and lets me pet him. Rather, he wanted me to pet him. And I pet him sitting there, absolutely terrified that this cat was going to suddenly just like latch onto my arm, right? Because that's what he was kind of known for at that point. We would laugh. Ha ha, isn't it funny that this cat's name is Snuggles because he wants to murder every single employee? It was haha funny, but he came over and he let me pet him for like 20 seconds. 20 whole seconds. And then, very, very gently, he opens his mouth and like lightly places his teeth on my hand as if to say, if you don't stop this now, I will bite you. And so I stopped. And he went back into the kennel. I shit you not. Then he just like went back into the kennel on his own. It was like genuinely so touching and terrifying at the same time because I was just like, oh my god, this cat. Like, are you going to like suddenly bite me? Are you going to scratch the shit out of my arms? Like, what is your ulterior motive here? But no, on his terms, he wanted a little bit of a pet. And then he got adopted, thankfully. Yeah, that's probably how he would say no more. Or even, maybe he wasn't like that at all. You know, if you're a cat who's been in an environment for like 14 plus years with a single person, you're gonna act pretty differently if all of a sudden you're in a kennel situation surrounded by cats. Because even just like the fact of there being other cats is super duper stressful. Like cats it's stressful. They don't like being near other cats when they're stressed, and not all cats like other cats. And it can set off cats that would normally be fairly like mellow. It can turn them into completely different cats, like Mr. Snuggles. Cause the rescue was like, yeah, no, he was a really, really sweet cat, like with his owner. And we were like, what? Are you kidding? But he let me pet him once, and I felt very, 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 very honored that he let me pet him. And I was terrified. And then he got adopted finally. And I was very, very happy because he needed a new home. He needed someone to take him home, right? He was sad. But it ended up good in the end, and I hope he had a good rest of his days, hopefully vibing without other animals stressing him out. Here, Oscar, you're going away. This guy can go away too. And you. But like hopefully he like got to enjoy the rest of his days just mellow, you know, with another like elderly owner who just kind of wanted to lay around with him all day. That's the kind of home I hope he got. I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah, teeth are teeth. Teeth sure are teeth. God, do they have teeth. There was another time, too. Not with Snuggles. Not with Snuggles, actually. But I had a coworker text me. And this coworker was kind of known. She, like, grew up in, like her parents were, like, super into animal rescue stuff and, like, worked with, different rescues. And so she was, like, she grew up around animals. She went to school for, like, animal-borne infectious diseases. I'm sure she did something with COVID. Let's be real. By then, I'm sure she had a job doing stuff like that. And so she was very, very used to handling critters and also was not afraid. She did not have fear. This woman did not fear anything. She would just reach in, and I think she did fear Snuggles, actually. I think she respected Snuggles, but there were other times where she would reach in to a cat kennel and be like, okay, you're like growling at me and angry, whatever. Like, I just have to do this and get it over with. Sometimes that's the best solution, right? There was one time she did that, and perhaps she shouldn't have, and she got bit pretty bad by one of the cats. And I don't know if you guys know much about cat bites, but you respect the cat bite. Respect the cat bite. You do not play around if you get bit, right? Because, yeah, inflamed and infected, exactly. Cats have really nasty mouths and really sharp claws, and they're basically like, they are tailor-made for causing infections. And so she texts me the next day and goes, hey, Winnie, I can't move my arm. Like, I can't make a fist with my hand. Do you think I should go to urgent care after work? And I was just like, what? She's like, yeah, I can't like, my hand's like super swollen. And I think she sent me a picture of it too. And it was bad. And I was like, and you're asking if you should go to the ER after work? And she's like, yeah. Needless to say, she got her ass in the ER immediately. And they ended up, it was so bad, she ended up on what she called horse antibiotics. And she's like, this shit is ruining my gut. Like, oh my god, because antibiotics, they kill the biotics. They kill everything. They don't care if it's a good one. They just want it gone. They go, we're getting rid of all this shit. So when you have horse antibiotics, especially, it ruins your stomach. But it was just like, she was just, the way that she was so casual about it. She was like, I think it might be infected. Should I go to urgent care? I was like, ma'am? Why are you not there already? I gave her a lot of shit for that, too. Because really, that shouldn't have happened. Let's be real. That was something that should not have happened. Like, she did not need to reach in like that. She could have, like, things could have been done differently. She did not have to get bit. She did, but she did not have to get bit. So I gave her a bunch of shit for that. She's like, yeah, but I do this all the time with my mom's rescues. And I'm like, yeah, your mom bottle feeds kittens and deals with that. Oh. My toe is turning black. Should I go to the doctor after work? Exactly. Exactly. Like, to be fair, I do somewhat understand the like, oh, should I go to urgent care or the ER? Because I did that once. This is not pet store related. This is just stupid Winnie related. I will not go into too much detail because it is gross and grosses me out still. But I perhaps might have had a sewing needle in the carpet and did not know it. And I may have perhaps placed my heel directly on that. And I will go no further into that. But I went to urgent care with part of a sewing needle in my foot, and when but what do? I can't. This hurts. This hurts. I can't. Like, what? How? Help! Help! Please help! I was getting ready for work, and now all of a sudden, help! And they tried. They tried. I will give them that. They definitely tried to help me. But very quickly, they were like, all right, we're going to call the closest ER, and you should go over there, please. And I can't remember if the urgent care did no, I think the ER did the x-rays. I think ER did the x-rays too. But so they sent me to the ER very, very quickly after realizing they couldn't do anything for me there. And even at I was so confused too, because I think I was just kind of like, you know, you're going through something stressful and you don't really like think too clearly. I was really, really confused because the second I like hobbled into the ER with they had given me crutches and they were like too tall for me because I'm short as fuck, and I was just like limping and it was terrible. And a nurse immediately is like comes by with like a wheelchair and is like, sit down. And I'm like, what? But I can walk. Sit down. And I'm just like, okay, I'll sit down. I'll sit down. Inch-long sliver of wood in your foot. Ow. Ow. But I was just like really, really just like, sit down. Okay. Also at a jelly store. And gross, they had to cut your toe skin. Yeah, they had to. I'm trying to avoid going into too much detail because it is very gross and makes me feel gross. But basically it had broken off in my heel and was almost touching the bone. And they almost could not get it back out again. They like the doctor at the ER, he had been like trying, and he was like, okay, I'm gonna try one more thing, and if not, like, we gotta look into like surgery. And I was like, what did you walk into? I'm so sorry, Amaro. I'm so sorry. I'm talking about my ER visit that is entirely unrelated to pet stores. It is entirely unrelated to pet stores. I stepped on a sewing needle. And I Genius Winnie went to urgent care first and got almost immediately sent over to the ER. But he was like, okay, I'm gonna try one more thing, and if that doesn't work, like we'll have to figure something out. I was like, okay. Thankfully, he was able to get it out of my foot. And he shows it to me. He's like, this is what it was. Do you want it? This man is like, do you want this? you know, like as a souvenir. And I just looked at it. And did I? No, because the thought of it in my heel made me want to puke again. I had already thrown up before that morning. Seeing how like how long of a piece was in my heel, I was just like, I don't want to see that thing ever again. Thanks, but no thanks. And then I walked out without getting the like discharge paperwork. So we had to go back because they were like, yeah, we're gonna call in some antibiotics for you, you know, blah 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 blah, because they had to, you know. And so, like 5 minutes, we like barely were able to leave the ER, and we were driving back, and we were like, wait, shit, we forgot something, and we go back, and the like nurses at the like desk were just like, yeah, we figured you'd be back pretty soon. They were just like, yeah, no, we know that they're gonna come back. It was so stressful. The one thing that I'm sad about is I had asked if I could get the x-ray CDs because they took x-rays and I wanted to see it again. But they did not give me I did not get that, and I was sad, but I didn't want to like go back again and be like, hey, I want to see my bones. Can I see my bone? Can you give me my bones? I didn't get. Don't step on sewing needles. That's not even close to pet store related. But all this to say, if you get bit by a cat and it gets even like remotely like warm or like puffy or any signs of infection, take your ass to urgent care. Okay? Take your ass to urgent care. Don't fuck around with cat bites. Or scratches. They are literally designed similarly to Komodo dragons to just be so disgusting that like they're not venomous or anything, right? Like I'm pretty sure that's the thing. Like Komodo dragons aren't venomous. Their mouths are just so disgusting. They just kill you from infection. And cats are similar. Not to the same degree, but holy caboli. And one time someone came in, back to pet store. One time someone came in with, well, okay, they didn't come in with anything, but they came in and they're like, I found a bunny. I was like, what? Yeah, I found a bunny. I want to keep it. I went, what? What are you talking about? Yeah, like a wild bunny. I want it. Do you know how to litter train it? It won't go in the litter box I got for it. And it's running all over the place. How do I fix this? This grown-ass man wanted to keep a wild rabbit as a pet. Not a like, oh, I need to like take care of this rabbit until I can get it to like a wildlife center. No, they wanted to keep the baby bunny that was wreaking havoc in his home. He wanted the bunny as a pet and thought it would like domesticate itself or some shit. I don't even know. I was just so dumbfounded. Your father broke his leg. He got 3D render. Yo! All right, if I break a bone ever, I want that. They better give me that. I'm gonna put up a fuss. I didn't want to put up a fuss at the time because I was in the middle of switching insurances and I'm pretty sure I gave them the wrong insurance card. But long story short, I got one bill from the urgent care. But that was it. And it was when I was on the government health care, so like it wasn't, I don't know, I don't think it was supposed to cost anything, but I was like kind of in the middle of things, and so I just didn't do anything. I don't know, my credit score's fine. They don't know where I live anymore. Got 'em. Wait, what's the statute of limitations for medical debt in Minnesota? I should know this! I work with this. 6 years. Okay, I think it's been more than 6 years. Maybe. Wait. I'm gonna pretend it's been more than 6 years. I'm good! I'm good. They can't collect on me anyways. But yeah, don't try and keep wild animals, including turtles. Do not take turtles from the wild. Do not do that. Put the damn fucking turtle back. I hated the people who would bring in turtles and they'd be like, my kids want to keep it. It's so cute and tiny. Is it gonna stay small? And I have to be like, no, it's going to get like the size of a fucking dinner plate, by the way. And be like, what? I don't want that. Then you don't want it. But I want to keep it. Can't I just keep it for a little bit in like a bowl? I swear to God. I learned a lot about customer service when I worked at Pet Place. I learned so much about customer service working there. Because you had to be nice to people. And you couldn't just, like, be like, no, you can't have this. No, you can't have that. No, 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 no. Like, the idea is you are supposed to try and sell the animals. Despite, you know, all of the moral quandaries that come with that. And, you know, you couldn't necessarily turn, like, we would always try really hard to, like, steer people towards good decisions, right? Like, we would be like, oh, like, you should do this and this for the cage because it's honestly cheaper than what you would get otherwise, and it's like a lot bigger and better for them, blah 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 blah, baby. But there are still those people who like wouldn't listen, which was frustrating as hell. The funny ones were always the kids who would come in and try to get a hamster, though. They'd walk in and they'd be like, my friend is 18, can I get a hamster? I'd be like, well, how old are you? 16? Be like, well, no. No, you can't get a hamster. Well, why not? You just have to be 18, right? I'd be like, I am not selling you a hamster because your friend is 18. Like, that, no. No, go talk to your guardian, whoever it is, and bring them in and you can get a hamster. They'd be like, but I want one. Those kids, they thought they were slick. They thought they found a life hack to skirt around the rules. 16 is a bit old to be pulling that stunt. No, that was like the perfect age to pull that kind of stunt. Because they were just like hoping that like you would be like, oh yeah, I mean, he's 18, so sure, it's fine. Technically that follows policy, blah, 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 blah. Stupid kids. Stupid kids. I would not. And then usually we would end up posting like a little note in the back like, hey, there's kids trying to get hamsters again. Make sure you like ask how old people are if they look a little sus. They look a little young. It was also kind of stressful because we would have to, so I don't know how it is at Pet Space anymore, but at Pet Place in particular, we did not sell feeder mice, right? That is an ethical debate for reptile people. Let's be real. Okay. But our policy was we sell animals as pets. The only ones that were sold as feeders were comet goldfish and crickets. And even still, like, the goldfish and, like, the rosy red minnows, that's, you know, there's discussions to be had about that. But with the small critters, like the rodents especially, it was real fun sometimes trying to suss out why someone wants a mouse. There was one time this girl came in and she was like, do you have any young gerbils? I was like, what? She was like, yeah, do you have any young, small gerbils? Because I need to get a gerbil I need to get another gerbil. And I was like, wait, you already have a gerbil? Yeah, I need to get another one. And, for the record, gerbils, are, well, small rodents, so mice and rats and guinea pigs, and I believe chinchillas are very social, but like hamsters and gerbils are very not. Hamsters especially. Hamsters will kill each other. I mean, gerbils will too, but with gerbils, sometimes you are able to keep like a sibling pair or trio together as long as they grew up together, right? As long as they grew up together and were already used to each other. So like that alone, like being like, I need a friend for my gerbil is a red flag. But she was so specific about, I want to see the smallest gerbil that you have. That I was just like, excuse me? I did not outright say it, but I'm like 99% sure that she was trying to feed a snake or some critter, right? And thinking that she could win, like, I don't know, fool me with that very normal thing to say. I need the smallest gerbil that you own, ma'am. No. 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 But sometimes people wouldn't be as smart about it. They'd come in and be like, hey, I need a feeder mouse. And be like, okay, here's, like, I point you to the freezer. And they're like, no, not that. Oh, fuck ads. Fuck ads! But then I'd have to be like, well, I can't sell you the mouse. Like, we don't sell them as feeders. And they, like, walk away, and come back, like, 5 minutes later with, like, a tiny-ass plastic container. Wait, I actually have like, they'd come back with, like, one of these. They'd come back with one of these and, like, a water bottle and be like, I want to get a mouse. And I'm just like, 5 minutes ago you were asking for a feeder mouse, and now suddenly you want a pet mouse? 5 minutes later you want a pet mouse? After telling me your snake was hungry? Do you think I'm dumb? Do you think I'm stupid? Sounds like an expensive way of getting... Yeah, like, it's expensive. Is expensive. Right? And just, like, you know, no matter where you fall on the scale of the ethical debate of things, if a store has a policy, they have a policy. And I'm pretty sure at the time that Pet Space did sell feeders, but they didn't want to go there. They didn't want to go all the way over there. It was like half a mile away. That's too far. They're here now. My God, Jesus Christ. I learned to suss out those kind of people pretty quickly. And because, you know, customer service, you have to be nice to them, right? You still have to be nice to the customer. Customer is king. Yay. Yay. So sometimes to like deter people who clearly would not like, who you were like, you don't want to say no, but like, you know that like you want to say no, I would just like go into like a long spiel about everything that they needed. Oh, you need this, you need this, you need this now. Yeah, like you gotta get this food and you need this cage, and oh yeah, don't forget this, like you gotta get these too, and oh, you know, you should get this for them as well, and don't forget, like you gotta look into like getting a bigger wheel and blah 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 blah, and then usually they'd be like, I'll think about it, I guess, and then walk away. I would be good at Mogu. I've never played Mogu, actually. I've never played a Mogu. Somehow, I've avoided playing a Mogu, even though it's something that I would enjoy. But now I'm at, like, a point where I don't want to play a Mogu with people who take it seriously, right? Like, I've seen people who take it really, really, really seriously and, like, play, like, the Amogu meta bullshit. No, that's not fun. Maybe that's fun for some people, but that's not fun for me, Winnie Rowanberry. So I want to play it with people who are going to bullshit things and say things wrong and, you know, say things that are super sus and not know it. Kind of thing, right? Not with people who know everything about a Mogu. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. What else? What else happened at Pet Place? What else has happened in this world? Let's see. Snuggles. That damn litter box kitten. Okay. Okay, the rat that bit you, hamster, cleaning up after piss, box of ferret. Oh! Ha 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 ha. See, you know your parents raised you right, because your sister had to do research, right? Right? Exactly. Those, I loved it. There were times, those kinds of parents were so good. There are times that the kids they'd be like fucking 12 and they'd be like, Mom, I need to get this and this. And like they had a whole list. They had a list of everything they needed. And they'd be like, do you have this brand of hamster food? I did my research on it. Oh yeah, no, comma, I'm being funny. Customer is haha, marketing. Ha ha ha. Ha 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 ha. I'm being funny. Because it essentially has become a customer service line. Even when it isn't. But I love those kids that would come in and like know exactly what they needed. Like you could tell they had good parents that were making sure like, okay, you want a hamster, you're gonna take care of it. Like they live like 2-3 years at least. Blah, 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 versus the people who would walk in and be like, it's my kid's birthday today. I want to get him a hamster. I'd be like, okay, we need to get a cage and everything. No, I don't need that yet. There were literally people who would be like, no, I don't need that yet. I don't need a cage yet. I'd be like, what the fuck fuck are you gonna do with it then? What the fuck are you gonna do with an animal if you don't have a cage for the hamster? Dun 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 dun. Yeah, Finch, that's the full, like, the full phrase. I love those kids, though. Those were the kinds of, like, interactions that gave me hope and kept me going. Free roam hamster, no! No! No, 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 no! We'd also get people who would come in for birds. As you guys probably know, I'm I like birds. You really felt the yay! God bless retail. I'm so grateful. I am no longer in retail. From what I've seen, it has only gotten worse and worse. And it was already bad when I was at Pet Place. And now it's just like, you think that they can't cut back on, like, staff anymore, and then they surprise you. They just keep finding a way to surprise you. And I'm like, how much further can we go? Apparently further. But sometimes people would come in and they'd be like, is that the bird that talks? Will that bird talk? I'd be like, oh my god. Oh my god. The people who all they care about is if their pet bird will talk or not drive me insane. Oh my god. You're like, I want it to talk. Be like, well, you can't make a bird do anything. First off. Second off, and so I'd have to go into like a whole triad about, yeah, well, so like parakeets are some of the best talkers, but that's usually only the males, and even then it's not guaranteed. God, does it come in blue? God. Yes. Does it come in blue? I don't want anything that isn't blue. Does it talk already? Can I like hold it? Can I take it outside? I want to hold the bird. And I would be like, you are not in control of whether or not the bird is going to decide to learn how to say pretty bird, or if the bird is going to decide how to mimic your alarm. If it's going to learn how to mimic anything, right? Right? You can't, it's an animal. They have free will. Can you get one that's potty trained? Oh my God. Yeah, people are like, is it potty trained? No, it's usually not good to try and potty train birds anyways. The only sway would be food. Comma, you're funny. You're funny. You think that birds have an intrinsic motivation to please humans? You think that they want to please their humans at all? Nah, they're gonna do whatever they think sounds cool. As a bird, you've never been made to do anything, but you've been pressured. See, at least parrots, finches may be a little different. Parrots are a little more chaotic about it. Like, some parrots you can motivate to learn tricks, and you can definitely help, like, you can reinforce things depending on the bird, right? But that's gonna be, like, African gray level we're talking. Not the parakeet that you get from the pet store kind of bird. Yeah, most animals are susceptible to wanting yummy things, but mimicking speech especially is a, like, they primarily learn the noises because they're trying to attract pretty birds. Like, oh man, Ringo, I do still miss Ringo. He never spoke clearly, but I would always call it, he would pretty bird. That was his singing, was pretty bird, because he'd be like, so like you could tell he was like mimicking the general idea of pretty bird, but it wasn't actually, it was just like his own like garbled version of it mixed with all of his other whistles. It was very, very cute. That's usually what you get. My grandma apparently had a bird that would say, "Give me a beer, damn it." So, I mean, they can learn context. Yeah, like their brain functions a lot differently than you would expect, I guess. Whereas like a dog, like, you know, dogs will intrinsically want to like please the people. Birds go, "When I make this loud noise, you come over and tell me to shut up, and now we're both making loud noises together. Isn't this amazing? I am having so much fun right now making loud noises." They're too smart. Birds are too smart. They have too much autonomy. That's why I love them. That's why I love them. Yeah. Like the parrot that can identify materials, but just because they can doesn't mean that they will. Yeah, pick up this cup and shake it. Like, God, I absolutely love videos of like large parrots because you can see their brain just like churning, right? You can see how smart they are. You tell them, "No, don't touch your brother, bird. He doesn't like it when you like grab his wing with your giant ass cockatoo foot." And then the cockatoo looks you dead in the eye and reaches his fucking leg out without breaking eye contact to grab his brother's wing after explicitly being told, "No, don't do that." They are literal toddlers, and I love it. Or like, don't touch the heater. Heater hot, heater bad for bird. And then bird walks up to the heater and starts like tapping his toenail against it, because that's not the same as touching it, right? If you tap your toenail against a heater, you're not touching it. You're just tapping it. So that's okay, right? Oh, brats. I love birds. I love birds. They're so fucked up. I love them. Jasper has no brain cell. She does not have those brain cells, unfortunately. But she is my precious little baby bird. And it's cute when she wants to snuggle with me. So I'll accept her. I accept her for who she is. Let me see. I'm getting eepy. Do I have any more? Oh shit, right. Okay. Oh, there was one time someone came in, actually. There was one time that someone came in and they were really confused. They like came in, stopped in the middle of like the door opening and like looked at me. I was at register at the time. And they were like, "Where are your cords?" And I go, "What? I need a cord. Where are your cords?" And I'm just like, "Cord for what? Right? Like, what do you need a cord for?" He's like, "For my laptop. I need a cord for my laptop." And I just sit there for a moment trying to process the conversation that is being had. I need a cord for my laptop. I need to charge it. And I think I literally just said, "Sir, this is a pet store." And he looked at me and went, "Oh, I thought this was Best Buy." And then left. And I was just like, absolutely fucking dumbfounded, right? Like, absolutely dumbfounded. What do you do? How do you respond to that? "Oh, I thought this was a Best Buy." There was no Best Buy. Like, it was in a strip mall, but there was not a Best Buy in the strip mall. The nearest one was like a mile away. And I was just like, what? What the fuck? There was one time when we were super short-staffed and I was at the register checking people out, and quite literally I'm like a line with like 5 people all waiting, no one else available to help, etc. And I watch as this guy just pushes a cart full of dog food out the door and leaves. And the person I was checking out at the time was like, "Did he pay for that?" And I was so stressed. Thank you for the follow. I was so like stressed out from being like overwhelmed with life and everything, and you know, we need cashier backup. There is no cashier backup. Someone wants a fish. Someone else needs crickets. Someone else needs help with their dog food. This guy just walks out the store with a cart full of dog food. And I look at the person that I'm checking out and I'm like, "No, I don't think he paid for it, but I don't think I care." Or I was like, it was something like, I don't care. Right? Like, yeah, I don't think he paid for it, but I'm not gonna do anything about it. What could I even do about it? Like, what? And I was just like, I can't, I'm not gonna, no. Yeah, nothing to be done. And like, general policy of most retail is you don't stop someone. Even if they are blatantly stealing something, running out of the store with something, you don't stop them. Because what happens if they pull a knife on you? What happens if you try to tackle them and then they get hurt and they try to sue the store for an employee breaking policy and tackling them? Even if morally, yeah, you were trying to stop him from stealing. Corporate's not going to care about that. Corporate's going to go, "All right, we fired him. Sorry, sir, here's your printer you ran off with. Have a nice day." Yeah, words only. And even then, I don't know. If someone's gonna, I did not get paid enough to care. I did not get paid enough to care about anything but the live critters. Dog food, sure, steal it. Go ahead. Take your Beneful. Go ahead and steal it. Bugs always grow in those bags anyways. Sometimes people can be shamed into I spaced out. Yeah. I have seen multiple instances of someone blatantly running out of the store. Where it's like, okay, you're making a beeline. You're making a beeline. You know? Pet stores, man. Sometimes I do miss it. Sometimes I do miss working in a pet store. Oh dear. But at the end of it got stressful, as you can imagine. Taking care of animals got stressful. Boy, would it get stressful sometimes. 'Cause it was like you were trying to take care of the critters, and what's good for the critters isn't necessarily aligned with what corporate wants you to do for the critters kind of stuff. And you do what you could, but you know, sometimes it be like that. At the end of the day, though, don't let any of this, guys, distract you from the fact that Pekora bought a fucking monkey? Oh, I'm hilarious. Don't let any of this distract you from the fact that Pekora bought a fucking monkey. That's my essay. That's the conclusion of my essay of working retail at a pet's place. Yeah, she posted a picture of Jill the other week, I think. And it does look like Jill is doing well, which I'm glad. I'm not sure if this is exactly the same critter. I don't know. It's not even a monkey. I know that much. It's not actually a monkey. Yeah, the exotic pet trade is, let's say that's a can of worms in and of itself. And a lot of places don't have the best laws about it. But it's really fucking funny to talk about how Pekora bought a fucking monkey. Alright, I'm tired. I'm tired now. Let me see who's doing stuff. Maybe they can distract you from the fact that Pekora bought a fucking monkey. Oh my god, Mimi's playing Zoo Tycoon! Oh my god, how long has she been going? Is she still going? Here's your animal fighting chart. Oh, alright. Yeah, it's very thematic. Henna Mimi. She's talking about gay wolves. So, I think it's gonna be a good time where whatever happens over there. Oh right, Umi Neko Night was here. Hell yeah. But thank you guys for hanging out at my TED Talk about working at a pet place once upon a time. I have many retail stories. This isn't even touching working at a print shop. That's its own level of hell. There are so many different levels of retail hell. It's amazing. I love it so much. I'm so glad I'm out of retail. I hope people can get away from retail if they want to. But thank you for hanging out with me today. I'm gonna go watch Joe Schmo. But yeah.
Have a good night. And, oh, it's